Good morning. How's everybody doing out there? My name's Story Grub. Thought we could hang out, talk about the weather, the end of the world, old family recipes, that kind of stuff. My name's Story. Oh, Story Glory. Oh, Glory Story. All right, we're off to a good start. Ooh, ow. You left us with rings where the old human beings sift for food. You ran off with queens after setting their kings to the news. And while you change your sorry, it's been a while. And while the fever's running dry, and believers on every side get no tears from the glass eye. We battled the seas and fought gods with diseased attitudes. You gave us the trees and shared all of your seeds with our few. And if you change your mind, if you make it out alive, you'll get no tears from the glass eye. I felt for my wings at the tip where my dreams met my view. These horrible things that I think them for you. And while the fever's running high, with believers on every side, you'll get no tears from a glass eye. Oh no. There was a song I wrote back when I was 7 years old, back in the Dust Bowl of 1927. was a song called Alice Fell Down the Wrong Hole, based on a true story. But not mine. I'll tell you that much. Yeah, I'm gonna put my reading glasses here on, and then we'll get to work on the drawing. How about them apples? Oh, here's my pick. I had no idea. But first, if you wouldn't mind, I'll turn into your art Bibles. Turn into page 6, episode 3, verse 4, word 5, letter 2. It's the letter B, lowercase b. Be all that you can be, friends. That's it. That's all I got. Be all that you can be. Unless it's making you be something that you're not. Look at me. I'm one to talk. Alright. Careful how I take clothes off these days. Oh, there we go. There we go. Feel better now? Damn it. Been waiting to do that for years. Alright, let's get busy. I spent the first 7 years of my 17 days on this planet in that darn dust bowl. Led to nowhere. Except for here. That's what they never tell you that in the history books. Whenever you get somewhere, it's where you've been. They got you there. Doesn't take a whiz kid from the country to figure that out, does it? Oh, oh, gotta find my coffee, my liquid, my mirth. Is that an herb? No, it's a spice. Myrrh. And I keep seeing this little thing on the ground, and I keep thinking it must be like a little flower. I keep thinking it's a little starfish or something. But I keep seeing that, and I'm like, where the hell did that come from? I don't understand. So I drop it, and I forget about it. But I keep thinking it's a little creature trying to crawl up onto my leg and suction onto my blood vessels, implant parasites, and take over my brain. And I'm wondering if that's how the invasion starts. Just something as simple as a beautiful little starfish in my garage. That's all it would take. I crap you not. Terry told me I can't cuss today because he said it's not only is it darn right ugly, because we're trying to emulate the period from 1939 to 1956 up in this bitch. Oh! Sorry, Terry. That's not a costume. Dang it. It's usually only 20. I mean, it's 1955 cost, so it's like 2 cents. Who cares, right? Who are you, the FCC? Does that work with the internet? I don't think that works with the internet. Get out of my head, FCC. We're not in your head, sir. You can do whatever the hell you want on the internet. Yeah, that's true. The cat octopus. Where is it? Where is it? Oh yeah, it's up there. Under the tidal wave. That was a request from a voyeur, a visitor, a voyeur. They said they wanted an octopus, a cat octopus, and I said, "You mean an octopusy?" Because it's a play on words, but it's also James Bond. But and they said, "Well, octopus, the head of a cat and the legs, the squid-like legs of a It's too bad there's no word for squid-like legs. It's kind of long. For the octopi. And then I settled on this. My imagination settled on that. Cute little dude. And then there's a worm dog right next to it. Do y'all ever get the feeling that you're being watched? So I seldom do. I often did. I don't anymore. Just asking for a friend, that's all. He runs a YouTube channel from his basement, underneath the other basement in his 4-car garage. How many cars does one person need, really? That's true. If I sold one of those cars that are in my garage, I would have like, god damn, dude. It's hard to even say. I don't know, $500? Maybe 650? 650? I'd be laying in it like a scoundrel. And the boots to match. Does anybody like cars? I'll sell you the best one on the market. It's in my driveway. I call it Corolla. Corolla. It's a 1973 Corolla. But boy does it still have some energy in it. If you get it up at the top of a hill and you push it and you get inside and it rolls, oh, you just better watch out. It'll start rolling and the brake lines are cut and you won't be able to stop. It's going to be great. Get your life insurance today at storygrub.com. Link in the description, per usual. Does anybody want some coffee? I've got coffee, I've got tea, I've got beer, I've got pee, whatever you want. It's all there. Link in the description. It's all there. Well, that's a big yes please. That's a big old fat vague yes please down there, Ray. I just mentioned a lot of stuff, some of it very, very off-putting. And I forgot to mention, we also do have quite a bit of off-putting. The refrigeration up here is very, very difficult. You would think because it's so cold outside that it would be very cold inside, but very stuffy. Stuffy like a teddy. Like a ruxpin. Very stuffy. Oh, stuff it. Is that an expression in England or something? Anywhere? Oh, stuff it. It should be. Because it sounds like stop it. And stopping it also means like putting a plug in it, you know? You stop something. The very literal meaning of the word. But I like to say stop with 2 P's and an E. That way people have no idea where I'm coming from. Or where I've been, like I was saying. Back full circle. Which means halfway there, crescent moon, and switch on the flip. Thank you very much. These pens are bastards. They keep running out of ink. I'm going to have to spit on this thing to get it going. There we go. Oh, much better. Much better. My precious. I need to get a camera set up. Excuse me. So I can film the bubbles in my throat. So I can film myself while I'm drawing. Because some of the stupid ass faces I make, you would be grossed out first. You'd probably puke in your mouths. But then you would be like, oh, that's pretty impressive. Nobody else has made me puke in my mouth lately. Some of the expressions I make back here just make me gag. They make me gag, and now I have acid reflux. Or acid redo. I mean, it just happens all the time now because I puke so much in my mouth because I'm so disgusting. But I think that's what it's all about, you know? I think that's what it's all about so far. Puking, art, war, all that shit. At least that's what it's like where I'm from. In the country. In the country. In the country. They used to call me Rat Tail because they didn't know what to do with me. So they just called me Rat Tail and opened the door and sent me on my way. I had to learn the hard way, and the easy way, and the soft way, and the difficult way, and the plain old Jane way, and the old Grandpa get off my lawn way. I'm slowly getting back into that full circle of the grandmaster grand lawn mowing, get off my lawn, master man. He was quite ripe back in his old times, back in his day. He's the one that paved it all for us. Now all of us have the right to say, get off my lawn, but mow it first. Stand your ground, get off my lawn. That's why I always carry a rubber band gun with me wherever I go. And 12 gauge missile, disposable, organic. And it's very important that they're organic rubber bands. Big old bags of those little sons of bitches. You want to come on? You want to mess with me? You're gonna pull my rubber band gun from my cold, dead-blooded old hands. That's all. Amen. God bless America. God bless this mess. We're floating downstream. America. America is a piece of land. I'm working on a new anthem for my own country. Because America's actually kind of big. There's a South America, and then there's a Northern America, and then even East America and Western Americas, all over the place. There's big old fat islands of America, just floating out there in this big old weird old bubble this old flat bubble that we're floating around in, this flat ass, hollow ass bubble, this flat ass. It's all true. I would never lie to you. Y'all know it's true, otherwise you'd be hating on me right now. I'd be getting hate mail, snail mail right through the mail, little slot right there. It'd be giving me paper cuts all day if I was saying that something that was untruthful. But don't come to my channel thinking there's gonna be fake news and shit. Maybe the weather, because sometimes there's people that say how you doing. I'm like, oh, it's good. No, it's gonna be a nice day, and I know that I'm lying. I know that it's gonna be storming, but I don't say anything because I don't want to ruin their day. I think that's the American dream. Shop at my store, give me your gold, stay off my lawn, and have a nice day. That's all. I don't understand how hard that is to conceive of. I mean, this is America, dangnabbit. Land of the free. Get off my lawn. Keep making this thing smaller and smaller. I'm drawing at a tilt. I'm drawing upside down in a boat. And the water is filling. It's up to my chin now. There we go. Sometimes I'll just say, there you go. Like that. Like, oh, there. Perfect. Because I'm gaslighting y'all. And everybody else is like, what does he mean perfect? Like, what are his standards? Because that looks like shit. But I think it's mainly me just telling myself, like, okay, that's good, go, keep going. That's the 20th time you've done that on the same spot. Keep going, god damn. And then you can bring this up in there, leave a little spot open. So you can bring this over here too. But then you can put something right there. Or you can try at least. They're not the best pens, but if you go over the same spot at least 36 times, kind of like chewing food. If you chew your food 36 times before you swallow it, you're going to have pretty regular movements. And your dreams are going to be much better and more even-keeled. And the car that you drive is going to glide down the road instead of chimichangaing down that fucking piece of... Sorry, folks, Terry just stabbed me in the back with something sharp. I think it was a needle. What's going on, Terry? Yeah, you're cussing, Snorri. You're goddamn fucking cussing, you stupid ass. Hey, whoa. Be nice. Sorry, you unstopped the thing, and now we're cussing, aren't we? Apparently. I mean, it's written all over my shirt, too. What are you going to do about that? You can take the shirt off. I'm not going to do that. I'll never take this shirt off again. Not after last time. Sorry, folks. We just got to iron out some details around these parts. Find out who's boss. Who's really running the show around here. I mean, you're a producer. But my name's story. My name is on my dang channel. No, we can change that. We can call it Terry Draws or something. Well, you don't know how to draw, Terry. I mean, you don't even know how to produce. I just keep you around because you're good looking. You get the girls in here and you get the pimps outside. I don't understand the. I mean, we work together. It's a symbiotic relationship. You suck and I don't. I mean, there's a balance we got to keep, Terry. Come on now. Everybody knows that. At least my viewers do. They're hella smart. And I said hella. That's right. He's gone now. You gone? You done? Are we done? Yep, he's gone. Anytime I confront him, he just disappears. I'm not exactly sure what that means. He comes out at the most inopportune times. Inopportune times. Does anybody else smell like tar or leather or something? Something burning? Last time I smelt this, my right eye burst a blood vessel. And then there I shall draw another little leaf. You smell eggs? You little silly. Because you just cooked it? Oh. Hello, this guy. Good morning, mother. If you can guess which one is my mother, then I shall give you a thumbs up. Mother. Well, I was not cooking leather earlier. Oh, wait. Actually, I was. I was boiling leather because I'm hungry. I'm starving. The producers, Terry, I was just talking about, they don't feed you very well in these parts. So I took a note from the Donner Party. I took apart my Air Jordans. They were very expensive, but I was forced to. I waited 19 years. I'm starving, and I finally was able to eat the tongue. I ate the tongue, and then I ate the goddamn thing's soul. It wasn't bad. I made some bread out of the yeast that comes off of the back of my head. Everything's fine. The journey is going swell, and I have to admit, I'm getting quite popular. The moon is crazy. It's kind of cool. It's neat. It's weird. Little. Yellow. Different. Alright, now I gotta finish this. Sick to death. I am sick to death. I did it to death. Everybody has their own little theme song. No more basketball for me. I need to get my hands on those leather balls. That's where the real meat is at. Just don't go saying that out loud to anybody, otherwise you'll lose some cool points, I'm sure. Let me handle this. Hey, cat, don't. It's okay, baby, I was just kidding. She flashed her claws at me. I sat back down. I'm smart. She's dangerous. Does anybody believe in Santa Claus still? I mean, like, really believe? Like, kind of think that these UAPs and these UFOs that are popping out aren't really UAPs and UFOs. They're actually Santa Claus. Anybody? As Mulder bursts through the door. I want to believe. Thank you, Mulder. You can sit down with the rest of the cult club. In the cult house. Clubhouse, darn it. I was having some very, very, very strange dreams last night. Then all these last nights I've been having the craziest frickin' dreams. So vivid and long, just exhausting. I have so much in my head I can't even tell you. And it's just desperate to get out. But I've got to put a stop to it, a cork in it. Can't show the cracks. Comes a point when you're at the tip of the bottom of the edge of a reservoir near a dam upon federal land given to them by the gods, but taken from the indigenous peoples that lived there forever, who also got it from the gods, which leads you to wonder, who the hell are these gods and where do they come from? I mean, what's going on? That's all. Have a nice day. Thank you, come again. Go mow my lawn and then get off my lawn. My first jobs, the first jobs I really ever got sort of paid for it in a way. I mean, I got allowances here and there, but was mowing lawns. So whenever I smell grass that's been freshly cut, I'd go out there and I'd poop on it. Because that's what you do when you're a lawnmower. I was the lawnmower man. Pooping wherever I can. It's true though. No, I just used to mow lawns. There was two right in a row. My mom's friend, Sam, and her mother, Verna, who lived through the orchard. I believe it was a walnut orchard. Could have been almond between their houses, or maybe very small walnut trees. Because there were some big ones on the property, two big old fat walnut trees. Big old walnut orchards everywhere out there. Great places for kids to go off the beaten path and find your own little spot. Just go deep into these orchards and disappear. And you could see for miles, and no one could see you out there. But if they did and they were trying to get at you, you could easily see them and just disappear somewhere else. That's what I loved about that area. There were just so many shortcuts and little avenues and alleyways that you could disappear through. Like Chico is a great place to grow up. Bidwell Park runs right through Chico too, so if you're close to Bidwell, if you were getting chased by a bunch of hoodlums and you knew Bidwell Park, fair enough. You could just go in there and just good luck, suckers. My sister and I, Brandy, we had that place mapped out in our heads. We would always get in trouble and then just disappear. We'd be meet at we had names for different areas and different spots that we would inhabit, and we would leave water and little things at certain spots. If you don't know, earthquake, sorry. If you don't know, it's in Chico, California. It's Bidwell Park, and that's where the first Robin Hood movie was filmed. They filmed the Robin Hood movie in Bidwell Park. It's called Bidwell Park, and I spent a lot of time at that park as a youngster, and then in my early 20s, I would go there and draw all the time. But yeah, being a kid could be really fun at times. Quite an adventure. We got chased a lot. What did I dream? It's hard to explain. I'm trying to think of that myself and remember, but I know when I woke up a few times, and I kind of just went back to bed and went right back into it. But I think what was I watching last night? I'll watch something and then fall asleep and then wake up and it's playing all this other stuff, It just goes into all these other random things. And it was talking about the UAPs. I watch all these channels with Ross Coulthart from News Nation, and he does all these interviews with military people and people who have witnessed certain things, and they're super credible folks, and they have just really interesting things to say about the whole UAP thing and all that. And Ross Coulthart he's an Australian journalist, but he's he's a really really good like investigative journalist, and skeptical but open minded enough that he's been like heading these conversations on that channel for the past couple of years. When he's the person that interviewed um, David Grush, and then he just also interviewed the whistleblower Mike Barber, and Mike Barber's interview was absolutely insane. There's like a whole 2.5 hour version of it, just uncut, basically, and there's some stuff going on that I think is just so remarkable that it's hard to even look at the world the same even now. And I don't even. I mean, I've had experiences before. I've seen things, and it's strange because there was this time in I lived in Ashland. It was back in, geez, this would have been like 1999. I think it was October of '99, and I got really one night. Me and my friend got really drunk on vodka and orange juice. We drank a bunch of screwdrivers, and it was just so they tasted so good. I drank a bunch of it, and of course that wasn't good. And I had to work the next day. I had to do a split shift at the vet clinic, and um, here I was outside my apartment at like 2 in the morning, puking and crying and just absolutely way, way, way too drunk, and obviously regretting my life. So I got up and I still managed to get to work. I woke up that morning and because I didn't have a car or anything, so I just like crawled to work, and it was like 2 miles away, and it was uphill. And I kept stopping along the way and just like laying there for like 2 minutes and then just crawling some more. And I finally get there, and I had to feed and water the animals and that kind of stuff and walk the dogs. And I was doing that, but in between, I would just like have to go to the bathroom and puke and just lay there for like 15 minutes. And my one of the vet techs came in, and she was super sweet, and I think she knew I was. I mean, I don't know. She had to have known that I was hungover. It was not like I could really hide it, but I just played it off like I was just sick, um, and I was just like mortified, embarrassed because I couldn't even stand up straight. And what did she say? I was working with her all morning because I was just going hella slow. I couldn't finish very quickly because I was so sick and taking all these breaks. And as I was going, she's like, "Don't worry about." She's like, "I'll take care of the animals tonight. Don't worry about it. Just go home and get some sleep." And I was like, "Oh," because it was a split shift. I had to work in the morning and the evenings there. And and I was like, "Oh my God, you're a freaking angel." And of course, it was my own stupid fault, so I didn't deserve that, her to be so kind to me, but she was, and of course, I was grateful. So, anyways, on my way home, there's these in between the vet clinic that I worked at and these huge, or in my place that I lived, the apartment complex. There's these huge over by the college or some kind of school or something. There's these massive green fields like for softball and baseball and all these soccer and all these things. And nothing sounded better than just going out there. It was Sunday. It was a Sunday, and it's really quiet in Ashland on Sundays. So and there was nobody out there. So I just like walked out, and I found a shady spot under a tree, and I just laid there in the grass. Um, and I think it was like, yeah, it was October. So it was kind of chilly, and I just like slept for a while. And it was right off the path that I could get on just to like get my ass home too. So it was like on my way home. Anyways, long story freaking longer. I'm sitting there, and at one point, for some reason, I'm just hungover, just like hating my life and stuff, but feel pretty good being outside. I'd been sleeping for like 20 minutes maybe, and I woke up, and I looked up, and I was like laying down, facing up, looking at the sky, and I saw this thing. And it wasn't even above me yet, but it was south. It was no, it would have been north of the way I was facing. It was sort of like coming up from below me, kind of where my legs were, and but it was like way up in the sky, and it was just this white ball, and I saw it like way up there, and I was like, what the heck? And it just came up and came right up and over me, and then it just stopped. And it looked like it was like way up into the sky, like 1,000 feet or something like that, at least, not like 20 feet or something. and it just stopped. And that was what got my attention because at first I was like, oh, it's like a balloon or something. And but then yeah, it got over me. And plus it was a white balloon, you don't and just a white single balloon in the middle of this huge open sky, you know. Um and it just stopped above me and it sat there for a while. And I'm just looking at it and I'm just like, what? It's not moving. It was moving like it, you know, like it was moving with the wind, and now it's not. And then as soon as I sort of thought about it, like I cocked my head and I was like, what the heck? It started moving again, but it started going back the way it came. Just like in a steady, like normal motion, not teetering or going with the wind, or just going straight back. And I watched it, and I finally watched it until it finally went away. And then after it left, there was this like sudden burst of energy in me, and I was able to like get up, and I don't know why, but I felt like 100 times better. And I still had like the nausea in my head, but I was just like, whoa, I feel better. And I jumped up and I was like, I want to get my ass home. And so I just like bolted my ass home. And by the time I got home, like my sickness had sort of, the nausea had kind of gotten me again. But I just laid down and, um, you know, I was able just to relax for the rest of the day and whatever. But I didn't think about that for like years until they started mentioning, like people talking about Tic Tac UFOs and like these little orbs and stuff like that that are everywhere. And then because that's basically what it was. It was just like a little white ball. Um, I didn't see any indication that it was even a balloon, other than that it was round and white. But anyways, that's one of my UFO stories. Like it could have been a balloon, but the way it just appeared and then started moving up towards me, got above me, and then stopped, and it was hovering there just for like a long time, minutes, without moving at all. And then all of a sudden, it just went right back the other way, straight back the exact same direction it came, until it disappeared. I could have just said that, I guess, instead of telling that long story. Hey, Liberty. Liberty, liberty, liberty. And then I saw a big old fat cigar shaped one go behind a cloud once and not come out the other side in Grants Pass. I was driving home and it was going behind it was in front of the sun. So it was like I just saw this big old fat black cylinder thing go behind the clouds. And I was waiting for it to come out the other side, you know, as it should, and it just never did. And I was just like, did I even see that? Like, what the hell? And then when I was 17, in the town I live in right now, I saw one. Me and this girl, I was with somebody. And I wonder if she still remembers that. But we saw one hovering over the town. And as soon as and this is something else I've been hearing, is that once they feel like they've been spotted, that's when they start moving. That's when they are like, oh, I better get out of here. Because, and this was back in 1997. And this girl and I were at some like overlook, you know, where we could see over the whole town. And there was we couldn't see the shape yet, but there was this thing just sitting over above the city. I thought it was a helicopter or something, but it just was about a mile away or something like that. But it was just sitting there over the city, and we're just like, what the hell is that? And we got out of the car and we looked over at it, and as soon as we both were like, wait, yeah, why isn't it moving? And as soon as we thought about that, it started coming in our direction. And we're like sitting up there, um, and it came right freaking over us, and it felt like that one was like 200 feet above us, and it was a square. I even drew it. I always had journals. I had journals back then, and it was like this. I'll show you. It kind of looked like this. Oh, stop. The camera all of a sudden wants to work. It's like, what am I focusing on? But it had these lights at the edges and then one big one in the middle. And it was just a big waffle, and it was like glowing. That's what it looked like. And it went right above us and sort of stayed there for a little while. Not very long, but just long enough. And then we just watched it disappear off into like going east. And it could have been closer, but it seemed like it was far up there, but it wasn't making any noise. I was 17 years old. in 1997. That's funny because I think that was probably around October as well. October of 97. Well, the thing about extraterrestrials that you got to be careful of is that I think there's not just, I think there's more than one race of them or one kind of them or whatever. I think that some of them are good, some of them are not. Just like us, Just as there's billions of chances that there's life out there and billions of chances that that life is somewhat similar to ours even. Um, uh, Look at us. We can't even share a rock. I don't mean the country. I mean a rock, as in like the Earth. We can't even share the frickin' Earth. We're a bunch of morons. There's the thing that cracks me up is that people act like we're not. People act like we're just. It's just crazy how we're conditioned to go back and forth from atrocities to the Cartoon Network and stuff like that. I wish that our civilization could just be what we act like we are. But instead we fight over scraps and we kill each other over nonsense. Things that could easily and then you go down to like the micro level or whatever at just like common everyday stuff like parking tickets and getting you know getting in trouble with the law in these like just general ways, and how it goes from the very bottom up, and how like the poor have to suffer a lot more because they can't afford a lawyer or they can't afford the fines. That a big corporation can, like DuPont, can poison our blood for generations to come, and they can poison like the water that we drink from, and they just get a smack on the wrist and a little fine. They get to go on living and still going on strong, and it's the kind of world we live in. But everybody wants to act like it's this big, happy-go-lucky thing. But then they tune into like YouTube Shorts, where all it is this guy found out the hard way. Boom! Yeah! Kill everybody. Let's go to church Sunday, everybody. I'm a Christian. It's like the strangest fucking world we live in. That was just an example. I know there's nuance, but I think that's what this world has forgotten, is that we're destined for better things. We're just beating our heads against the walls trying to like get the newest and best, craziest, most stylish things all the time. For what? To what end? So I can have the most stupid, stylish things and fight somebody and film it and put it on the tubes. Or like these stupid ass pranksters that go out with these horrible pranks. They're not even pranks. They're just going out and like smacking people and then to see what they'll do. It's like, that's not funny. I mean, even if they're doing it because they'll go out and like touch people, it's just like, or like on the escalator, the kind of shit. I mean, it's just, I don't know. But then I do start feeling and sound like that old man. Get off my lawn. There's no use hanging on to. It's not even a difference. It's not even a big difference, generationally speaking. Like when you see kids these days, they're exactly like the kids they'd be like from the 20s and 30s, except things change, but not that much. Style changes, fashion changes, technology changes. We're running out of resources, so things are definitely going to start changing in the next couple decades, way worse than people think. If people thought toilet paper was a big deal, just wait. Just wait until you can't get water and then see what people start doing at the registers. 6 feet apart, but where's our water? We'll just wait here for the water, sir. Thank you. We can see the water. By then, Nestle's going to have it all privatized anyways, and then people are still going to be blaming each other for life's problems instead of looking at who the real enemy is. It's Nestle. Don't buy their chocolate. But it's just by then too, it's going to be just one big corporation. It's going to be Corporation Tesla, And that's going to be like the umbrella corporation that everything falls under, and people are just pining for the end of their own civilizations. It's just so crazy. They're just ready for it, asking for it. Oh, AI. People are worried about the weirdest things too. It's like the machines have already taken over. They have already taken over. If our power went out, we would be dead within days. If the power went out, we would be dead within a week, all of us. We just turn right back into animals. People think we're so special and act like we're so cool and hip. Well, we are, but tragically hip. I can't draw when I'm ranting. I can't laugh when I'm arting. Just wish we could grow up in the right ways, in the right areas. Make sure nobody's hungry. Make sure no kid is out there without anywhere to live. Make sure everybody has clean water. These are the basics. These are the fundamentals that we should be out in the streets fighting for. But instead, people want haircuts and, care about bathrooms and shit, you know, instead of making sure there's actually a planet for us to have actual arguments about actual things that matter. I can go pee in the forest. I don't care about bathrooms. I want kids to be healthy and happy and have a shot at this life. I want rent to not be 3 jobs worth of paychecks for those kids and for you, for any of you. I don't care who you think you are or what you think you come from or what color you are, what clothes you wear. I've come to the conclusion that I'm not me, and as long as, I don't know, I am all of you. You're me, I'm you. Without you, I wouldn't be here. Without me, you wouldn't exist. It works both ways. We could figure it out. But instead, well, biscuits and gravy. I like biscuits and gravy. Can robot still have a hard time walking? Not for long, brother. Not for long. I'm not talking about them kinds of robots. And I'm not talking about that kind of death. But I'm still gonna draw. I'm right there with Brandon. I'm still gonna be out there doing my thing. I'll be doing caricatures for 25 cents a pop. That'll keep me. I'll be very important at the end of times. I'll be like somebody who boils leather, one of them fancy people. Hey, I'll draw that. I'll draw that severed head for 25 cents if you let. You got to start somewhere. You got to start small. No, believe me, when I said that, the first thing I was thinking was, no, people like Bear Grylls will be just fine. Those people will be just fine. There's already people. If you've heard anything about like those big trails, like the Appalachian Trail and things like that, there's people already living out there. You might want to go start finding those people and being like, teach me. Because what I was sort of talking about was just how people don't even know where their food comes from, in like these huge metropolitan areas, all the way down to just little. I lived in Boise, Idaho, and when COVID hit, it was ridiculous how people acted out there. People can't come together for like the most basic, simplest of things, and everybody makes everything political. And it's just really disgusting how that happens, because everybody suffers when that happens. And then everybody's in their own stupid little bubble, trying to get their scraps. I'm right there with you. I'm no different. Except that I'm aware of the scraps. And I choose to speak out against the scraps and the people who feed us scraps instead of feeding us 3 square meals a day. You know? What kind of world is this? It ain't gonna be like that. It's already like that in some places. That's what people forget. Armageddon has already happened. I was born during the time of Atari 2, my friend. And I see which way the wind blows. And I'm not saying that's how it's going to be. I'm just saying that's where we're headed. Or maybe I watched Terminator 1 too many times. But that's also the thing. They ain't gonna tell you in school about the flat earth and the hollow moon. And those are places that we need to get to right now in order to rebuild our civilization and save ourselves from utter destruction. We've got to save ourselves, Brandon. We've got to save ourselves. No one else is going to do it for us. I'm speaking about a world that potentially could happen and has happened in many sci-fi novels and movies. I should have just said sci-fi media. That would have summed all that up. Would have been a lot better. But I'm just one man with a vision. A vision of death, destruction, and love. Oh, love. It's worth it. It's worth putting all your eggs in a handbasket and pulling the trigger just to get a little slice of love. And how? Oh, I just remembered one of my dreams. It was an apartment with this woman. Oh, what the? It's like leaving me now. You know how like you just are in a house and it's like you're in your bedroom, but you have no idea. If you were thinking about it, it wouldn't make any sense why it was your bedroom, but in your dream you fully believe it. And I was getting kicked out, and people were trying to get in the windows and stuff. Oh, God, it was terrifying. It all happened so fast. I like adding swirls into my drawings, just so I know which way's up and which way's down. Well, Brandon, that right there is absolutely 100% 0.6 true. I'm right there with you on that. That's why I'm just trying to learn my lesson this time. That way, when I come back, I can just have a good old time. It'll all be just shits and giggles. But this time, I have a lot to learn. And as long as I'm alive, I have a lot of people to try to help. Gotta help people pull themselves up by their own bootstraps. That's what my job is. But first, I gotta help myself. And even though that sounds kind of, something like I have my own head up my own arse or something like that, I think it's true to a certain degree. You gotta be able to stand up tall before you can help others up in any sort of honest, truthful way. And why not? Why can't that be a thing? There's more than one ways to feed a cow. At least that's what I think. Well, I appreciate your point of view. There's a facility outside of town here where I live, and it's a ranch. Man, it is so cool. There's a stage and everything where it's like it's it's all country western out there where the stage is um, like an old stage you would see and outside, and it's all wood and there. Oh my gosh, I can't even explain it. It just looks very wooden and stage like. But it's like an event place and it's like an outdoor place and it's like a hall and there's a feeding area like a kitchen and everything right there and but they have like fake a facade of like an old west town out there in this corral and then they also have a bunkhouse out there like a little Airbnb um, that's all countrified and I wrote them this morning and said, hey, if you guys ever need help feeding and watering the horses because they're musicians. They have this like saloon out there with like a bunch of pianos and organs and guitars and then this huge pipe organ room where all the pipes and all these like animatronic freaking musical things are. This entire freaking huge ass floor to ceiling room of pipes and organ pipes and so out in the saloon you hit this button and the organ in the saloon starts playing but the sound comes from the walls. There's like these speaker things in the walls that pop out, and it plays from the back room. I can't even explain it. It's without it sounding, I'm diminishing it because when I saw it, I was just flabbergasted. She showed us in this back room, and and it was playing the music. It was so loud and oh my God, it was just, I felt like the Phantom of the Opera. It was one of the coolest experiences of my life. So I found out where the name of the place, and because she really liked her and I got along. The lady who showed us the place, the owner, and so I reached out to her this morning just to ask if I'd feed the horses and water the. I just want to go out there and hang out, and or like record or do a music video or go live from out there because it's really fun. And then during like I think towards like fall they do like a pumpkin patch. I just think it'd be really neat to be able to go out there and see people be all happy and stuff. Because people go out there and use the horses and use the area to film because it's like an old movie set. It looks like a movie set, and it's like 5 minutes from where I live. So we'll see. Their son is like a professional lasso person. I don't know what you even call that. I should know that, but I don't. I like the. Thanks, Brandon. Where is it at? It's outside of where I live, Paso Robles. Um, stage, stage line or stage, something stage. There's like an Airbnb outside of town, but I forget what it's called. Harris stage lines or something like that. I don't know. But the little saloon, they have a bar in there and everything, and oh my gosh, it's so cool. I want to film in there so bad. Thank you, Jacob. See, that's what I like about people. You didn't have to say anything, but you did, and it was something nice. And I think that's pretty darn cool. So thank you again, Jacob. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart. From the bottom of my heart. Thank you. I always like am drawing and then see all these spots where I just want to add stuff. I guess that's what drawing is. I don't know why that should come as some. I look at a paper and I think, I should put something there. Captain Obvious over here. Lo siento, friends. I did want to put teeth here, though. I always dream about teeth. And I always have dreams. I used to have tons of dreams growing up about my teeth falling out. And I'd just be spitting out chunks of them. I think a lot of people have those dreams. And I'm sorry that you do, because I know they're not fun. But isn't it cool to like wake up like and have teeth and be like, oh man, oh my god, yes. It wasn't real. I mean, I'm not one to talk, but I think we've all been there. There's this thing called bruxism, a brux. It's when you grind your teeth. When I was a kid, my dad would tell us to grit our teeth, which was like grind them together if we were in pain or something like that. Grit your teeth, boy, was one of his favorite expressions. If I got injured, grit your teeth. And so I did. And now I have the best grit teeth in the county. Thanks to me, Pop. That was only funny if you know what a tooth is, apparently. I don't. I'm not trying to gloat. I'm a humble man, but I'm also quite badass. There we go. There's a happy little vampire in there. Somewhere. For someone. Am I going to try to connect that? Because that's crazy, if I can. It's going to be hard. There we go. Pretty much. Sorry for the earthquakes. I live in California, as you know. Perfect. But I still must finish these. Don't be afraid. It's going to be okay. In Tennessee, California? Or is it Tennessee, Alabama? Where are you from? Where the hell is Tennessee? Is that a person or a place? I need to know. Ooh. Oh, the teeth dream right there. Brandon, I just read your comment. Yikes. I'm sorry. I never had braces. I'm sure I would probably have something similar. Some kind of weird memory or... ever since I was a kid, though, I always found teeth to be quite interesting. I'll chatter with them like a music or like a xylophone. I do rolls and when I rub them against each other, they go like, you know? So when I was like in the second grade, I used to act like they were a drum set. And I started doing that for some reason. I think it was because my brother, I always say this, but my older brother told me we were going to be in a band. He's like, you're the drummer. And I'm like, okay. And I was in the second grade, and he put this idea of being a drummer in my head, so I started... Sorry. I'm going to draw over here for a second. So I started... Everything became percussion in my head. And in order for me to keep track of certain beats and things, I would make up little beats with my teeth. Because in class you had to be quiet and stuff. Otherwise I'd be going, you know. But my the first instrument I fell in love with, or the first idea of wanting to play music, was drums. Kind of like Phil Collins, who was also very big in the 80s. I was very small. Blacksburg, Tennessee. Moved here when you were 13. Oh, to Tennessee. Oh, the ba. The ba. Dang, there was an earthquake over there? That's crazy. Jamon. I think I'm pronouncing your name right. Yeah, lucid dream. Astral project. That's what I think was going on last night, man. In my dreams, because sometimes you just wake up and you're like, where the hell have I been? I mean, even if it's all fake, it's just quite unreal what your mind can do and what it accomplishes when you're asleep. It's wacky. Look at that. I love this thing. I love it. It's wacky. Well, that settles that. I have a lot to do today. I need to figure out what I'm going to do with the rest of my life. It's going to be a busy day. I have no idea who I am. No idea where I'm going. I have no idea where I've been. Or where I'm going. I was thinking about it. And then it hurt my brain. Because sometimes you just don't know. And that's okay too. Life is scary. Life is hairy. And if there's a guy behind the camera, his name is most likely Larry. But you've got to keep going. Oh shit, unlock that pen. You've got to keep going. Otherwise, well, you'll just be mold on a window. And that mold is always hard to get off once it's on. You know the drill. I think that life is quite a wonderful thing. But it's tragic. It's yellow. It's fun. And it's full of love. All sorts of other gross things. 4-letter words. Down in the country, we just call that home cooking. That's right. I got this shirt from BetsyRoss.com, and this bullet is not supposed to be out. And it has all the 13 colonies on there from when we go out into outer space and we go settle up on the asteroids. That way we'll have the 13 colonies to keep us handy and safe along the way. Yep. I can't wait. I already applied, and I think my entire family's going to be going too just in the next few weeks. And then we're going to slip past Mars and on into, I think we're going to Venus. I think. Or is that just the gas? That's the gaseous one where there's no land. We're going to go live inside of Venus or on one of them moons or something like that just for a little while. That's what we like to do in the country, is just make more country out there. Spread the love. All right. To be or not to be, Keith. But seriously, friends, sometimes life throws lemons in the apple cart. And you just gotta remember, not everybody likes lemons, but some people are gonna bite into them on accident, not knowing that they're not apples. And they're gonna think that them apples taste like lemons for the rest of their lives. We all know they don't. It's bullshit. So just if you have any crawdads, send them my way. The address is in the description. Yeah, perfect. Perfect. I need this one long so I can cut people with it. Like that. And for other reasons. It's, I should probably cut that. Ow. But the quick is so dang close. It's like cutting a Labrador's toenails or something. Oh gosh, okay. No, I'm good. Perfect. Now sometimes you got to be hunky just so you can be Dory. Just so you know. Honky dong dang. That reminds me, I'm going down to the honky tonk factory this evening. If anybody wants to come. Be playing some songs. Where's my... Well, red, white, blue on my shoe, in my hat, oh yeah, mama. Red, white, blue, from Tennessee to California, yeah, for you and me. Everywhere in America, north, west, and south, people eating cabbage and put things in my mouth. And every once in a while, I think about my friends over there and over here and over there again. 'Cause I'm a country boy, country boy, oh yeah, country boy, country boy, oh yeah, country boy, country boy, oh yeah, country boy, a boy in the country land. Oh shit. Yep. When people ask about them apples, that's exactly what they're talking about, I think. Alright, let's get back to this. America, if you're watching, just know that I love all of you. South America, Middle America, all y'all. North America. I can't remember which one I'm on, but America first. Well, it's going to be America last after we bomb the rest of the planet. Apparently that's our goal. I like fireworks just like anybody else, I guess. Oh yeah, I hate short fingernails. I'm just glad that I use fingernail clippers because I used to just use my dog's teeth. They're in a jar in the backyard in the ground that I buried. That's right, I buried the ground just to hide that jar. That's how hardcore I am. Thanks for all the likes, by the way. Good old country boy like me. I see them likes and I just think, golly gosh darn dang. There's some beautiful people out there and I really do appreciate that. And ratings are the best. I think ratings are fun. And that's right, Therma. I almost called you Herma. That's my water heater. She's very vocal. And I love her. Gotta fix that a little bit. Still going with this. Alright, everybody. Well, it's time old story signed off. You know, life can get kind of weird sometimes. And I just want you to know that I'm weird with you. I'm weird too. And I'm looking forward to getting better at being weird. I just don't even know anymore what to say out loud, so I try to think about it inside before I say it out. But it comes off from the outside in. And when I do that, I just start getting up. I get a little teary-eyed. Like, it's not my fault. It was the 80s. Everybody was doing it. It's just, sometimes it can't be helped. I can't help it. It can't be helped. So that's what I do. I go out there and I walk the dog and I feed the cows and I think about life. And I think about art. And I think about being creative. And I think about how weird it all is. But it's okay. Because I know I'm not alone. I know I'm not alone. Amen. Let's see. Hello, Pasa. And it sounds nothing like what you heard tonight. This morning. I messed that up. These cue cards are a day old and an evening too late. You can put them down. They're not. That's what I just said, Jimmy. They're not the right ones. You can put them down. Cue cards. Thank you. Just put them down. What do I pay you for? Anyways, I gotta start thinking about my future. So if anybody wants to send me gold, the address is in the description, and a link to my new website is also there, along with my website, bank account, and some fresh chicken, like really fresh. It's still alive. Just walking around with this head cut off. So just let me know, and I'll put those little bastards in a box, ship them your way. Not too far. Definitely not to Australia. Really just across town is before they go bad, or before they die. So if you want a live chicken, you got to be at least, I don't know, 2 miles away from me. But if you don't mind, it had been live for 2 miles and then dead for several hundred miles. If you were to live in another county on the other side of the river. Well, that'll be gross, but you'll get it. You'll get it in no time flat. Okay? I can overnight those things too. So you know. No, chickens running everywhere. Maybe chicken range up here and make art and sing about chickens. All right, America first. All right. So it's such a stupid statement because it's like, which one? My cat. Oh my gosh. You gotta see my cat. Abby, what are you doing? What are you doing? You want to say hi to everybody? She's all angry. She's like, get that camera out of my face. I'm going to hurt you. Can you not see I've already troubleshooted every escape plan known to cat brain. You're going to die. I know where you sleep, master. And I'm gonna show you how to sleep forever. Look at her little face. This camera makes her nose look very long. Those are Back to the Future Pizza Hut glasses. Oh, that's right. It was Pizza Hut. For some reason I thought it was Burger King. I also have these. You remember, you really are an Atari boy. Ugh. Check these out. These are still like brand freaking new. There's not a scratch on them or anything. But they're like with the visors. These are actually pretty cool. And they're really strong. Those other ones are, you can tell those have been around, those have been used, but I lived in Idaho for a long time, and I found, you can see how nice they are. I lived in Idaho, in Boise for a long time, and the thrift stores over there, this must have just been in some box in the garage, not used since the freaking early 90s, or when Back to the Future 2 was 88? I think it was 88. Yeah, maybe. 89. Because I think the second one, or the third one came out like right after that, because they filmed them back to back. Yeah. But these were what they were wearing in 2015 or something in the future. Book It? Did I get them from Book It? It was like a thrift store. Out in Idaho, they're called youth ranches. They're thrift stores everywhere. I just call thrift stores, but out there, everybody's like, it's a Goodwill. It's not a thrift store. I'm like, it's a fucking thrift store. Or I would just call every store Goodwill. And they'd be like, actually, it's a Salvation Army. I'm like, whatever. I can't even say that word, you know? It's not worth it. Mm-hmm. That's one of her little perches. She can walk all the way around there, up on top. And I made a little bridge right here. So she can go over here and hang out over there if she wants. She loves the garage. Look at her little face. She's my little baby. Yeah. So yeah, this is the garage that I'm able to kind of do stuff in. I used to film all sorts of weird parody videos in here. Like this time last year, I was like really heavy in that world, and I wasn't drawing at all. You know, I wasn't doing these illustrations, but then towards the end of last year, I started getting all these commissions and getting ready for the art show that happened earlier this month here in town. And then also in next weekend, there's a huge art in the park thing in Morro Bay that I'm doing, where I'm taking art and like t-shirts and stuff, and I have like a booth with 100 other artists. So it's going to be really exciting. And it's a chance for me to kind of, you know, get some of my art into people's hands. But for a while there, up until about August or whatever of last year, I was trying so hard to get on YouTube a little bit more, because I wanted to like be able to rent a space to build sets and puppets and all this. I had all these ideas and plans. Not that it still can't happen, but you know, sometimes the visual art has to kind of take precedence over anything else. But yeah, this was like one of my characters from last year named Black Chokum. Seeing too many coming out of their shells. I wonder if I could even show you guys like the things that I have. I feel like the last time I did this, like YouTube, I got copywritten. And if I do, whatever. But look at these. Baxter. This is the original Michelangelo. These are the originals. I still have his nunchucks. I still have both of his freaking nunchucks. Original Donatello. Original Bebop. We were just talking about this person the other day. The Rat King. I have Raphael in here too somewhere. Oh, yeah. Original Raphael. My favorite. I got a couple Baxters. I guess I don't have a Rocksteady. I have Casey Jones. My stepmom made me give a kid, because she wasn't able to stop by the store to get like a gift for 4-H or something like that. So she asked me to give one of the kids at the 4-H one of my toys, one of my turtles. And it was the original Donatello. And I protested, but she was like, I'll just buy you another one. I'll buy you another one. And she, you know how it is when you're a kid and you want the one that looks like this. And she went and bought this. So this is the only Donatello I have. Otherwise, I would have all 4 originals. My stepmom. That was just that was the tip of the iceberg when it came to her being awful and evil to my brother and I. I like this little dude too, whoever he is. gonna give these away, but then I just can't. It's so hard to. And plus, I have a ton of comic books, Ninja Turtle comic books and stuff, and Spidey comic books. I used to be a collector. All right, everybody. Well, that's show and tell. I hope you have a wonderful day. I really appreciate the company and the kind words. Today's Friday, so I hope you go and live it up. You do something fun. Be nice to somebody. Be nice to yourself. Gotta start somewhere. So just baby steps, you know. Don't leap right into being awesome to yourself, but kind of ease your way into it. You know, like the frog sitting in a pot of boiling water. Just gotta ease into it. It's not easy, that's for sure. But you gotta try. And then you'll see wonderful things start happening in your life. So, and I hope those wonderful things start happening for you today. Thanks for the nice words, Brandon, and thanks for hanging out with us today. I'm just gonna call you Herman because I can't pronounce your first name with that. I'm afraid I sound like a dork. Because I always want to go Jamon like that, but it's probably like Jammin. No, it's just Jamin. Thank you for hanging out too. I really appreciate you guys' company. Hey, Phobia. Bye, Phobia. Red, white, and blue. Captain Kangaroo. Alright. But you all be safe out there. I'll probably see you later on tonight, I'm sure. I've got to go figure everything out. And when I do, I'll let you all know. Take care. Or don't. It's completely up to you. Was that good, Terry, or should we